to better help people that are coming back into society from being incarcerated. We even have peer specialists within the criminal justice system, Blair.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
And now, here's your host, Blair Durham.
Greetings.
Welcome. It's the 100th edition of Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. So excited to celebrate 2 full years of providing this programming to the 757 and beyond. Joining us now is Miss Deborah Harris. She is the founder and president of Your Wellness, Inc., which is a faith-based nonprofit 501c3 corporation licensed in the state of Virginia, serving men, women, children, and families who are mentally challenged, survivors of abuse or neglect, homelessness, ex-offenders seeking reentry, individuals suffering from substance abuse disorders, bullying, trauma, and loss, doing all of these wonderful things by connecting them to available resources in tough times for community wellness in an attempt to cut down on the amount of instances of suicide in our region. Welcome to the show, Deborah. How are you?
I am doing just fine. Thank you for having me on today, Blair.
I must say, I did not fully appreciate the scope of work that you do until I read your bio. Kudos to you on casting a very wide net and helping so many different kinds of individuals within your organization. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Well received. Thank you.
I have to ask, talk to us a little bit about the mission of Your Wellness, Inc.
Okay. Well, the scope of my knowledge about mental illness is limitless. And as you know, I'm in fact an expert because I live with bipolar and PTSD. And God saw fit to spare my life on numerous occasions when I no longer wanted to live with my depression, not to mention all of the suicide attempts. And our mission is to, as you mentioned earlier, cut down on the amount of suicides in our region. And we do this by addressing and treating all of the major causes because our teens, they are committing suicide at an alarming rate. And by the time the problem is noticed, it's already too late. And so our mission is to do our part in connecting them with all available resources because we are a mental health organization and we're also a resource center and we partner with other agencies within the community.
I got it. So let me ask this question, Deborah. I know that you are a certified peer recovery specialist. Could you talk to us about that certification, that process and how that sort of enables this kind of work?
Okay, well, back in 2007, I believe it was, Medicaid and Medicare, a group of people within their organization decided that they needed to come up with a way to cut down on substance abuse and relapse. Their aim was to stimulate relapse prevention. And the normal methods, of therapy and AA and NA and different things were not, they work, but they were still lacking a better approach, I would say. So they came up with the idea of peer, something that Dr. Bill and Dr. Bob did over 30 years ago with the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. One alcoholic helping another alcoholic to stay sober. So Medicaid and Medicare decided that they needed someone who had lived experience, and they decided to call us peer specialists. because of the fact that we have lived experience with either mental illness, substance abuse, or both. And when you are diagnosed with both, today they call it like a dual diagnosis.
Sure.
And they discovered that the relapse rate had dropped once they put peer recovery specialists into different various institutions. We are everywhere. We're in hospitals. We are in mental health clinics. We are in private practices. And a lot of employers are now employing peer recovery specialists in order to better help people that are coming back into society from being incarcerated. We even have peer specialists within the criminal justice system, Blair. And even in, our forensics criminal justice area, we have peers that are helping other people who are struggling to find their pathways to recovery. And that's what we do. We encourage them with our own experience, strength, and hope. We can share with them what we did, the pathways that we took, and we advocate on their behalf. But what a peer does is, they can't tell you what to do, the person who is struggling. We can only encourage, advocate, mentor, coach, and it has proven to be effective.
I love the model. I understand, too, that you were motivated and inspired to write a book on the basis of your experience. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've published?
Yes. I have published a self-care book, and it's called Listen. And the book, it helps to teach you how to help your loved one to manage your mental illness, their mental illness, while maintaining your own health. And once you have completed reading the book, you will have gained insight on how to effectively and properly communicate with your mentally ill loved one. You will see how important listening is to the communication process. That's why I named the book Listen. And you will learn how to develop important skills, such as how to build resilience, how to handle challenging situations that may occur, the many pathways to recovery, how to hold your loved ones in unconditional high regard while maintaining your own appropriate boundaries. And well, this book will give you firsthand knowledge from a writer, myself, who has lived experience. And who better to tell you than someone who has been there, lived it, done that, and is managing it today. And, you will know how to handle the stress that comes with being a caregiver. And most importantly, the readers will know how to care for themselves while caring for their loved ones who's living with a mental illness.
Very important topics. We certainly understand the pervasiveness of mental illness, and we certainly understand that really the incidence is growing during these times. Our loved ones may in fact be triggered by a lot of the anxiety that they are facing as a result of COVID-19 and the stressors and so forth that have come along with that. So I think it's a very timely publication. How could we go about obtaining a copy?
Okay, you can, I have a website, and it's a mental health website. You can go to www.yourwellnessinc.net, and we have a section on the website where you can donate. Click on the Donate Now button. And the book is $14.95, the hard copy. I spoke with my publicist about a week ago, and she said that the electronic version, which would be $9.99, will be out in a couple of weeks, and she's going to notify me when that happens. And the book will be available on Barnes & Noble, Amazon Kindle, and Apple and iTunes and other places. And I will, through my social media platforms, notify everybody once the electronic books are available. And if you don't want to go to the website, which I do encourage that you do in order to find out more about what Your Wellness Inc. does, who we are, what we offer, our services and everything. Two, I encourage you to visit the website. But you can also order your book via Cash App. It's the $Deb Harris 62.
DEBHARRIS, the number 6, the number 2. Awesome. I love it. Give us your social media handles as well for those that are interested in connecting with and aligning with your work via Your Wellness Inc. How can we find you via social media?
Okay, I do have Your Wellness Inc. Facebook page. And once you go to my website, Your Wellness Inc. website, you can click on the paperclip that's on my website, and it'll take you directly to my Facebook page. I'm also on Twitter and LinkedIn.
Okay, wonderful. I know that you have hosted some virtual events during these times focused on this, the topic of mental wellness. Can you talk a little bit about those events and then anything that you have slated for the coming weeks?
Oh, yes. Well, even before COVID-19 actually hit, I was inspired to start distributing wellness packages to our community. I'm somewhat of a researcher, and I, in my community, in the Camelot community alone, we have a lot of children. Camelot is sort of a mixed community. We have people who are well-to-do financially, and then we have people who are really struggling. And I was just inspired to help the ones that are really struggling. We have a lot of single-parent families in our community, maybe one just a father or just a mother who have 2 or more children, and it just needs help. And so I was just inspired to start feeding and passing out wellness packages, because a lot of times, you can go to different area food banks, different churches who are feeding the homeless, but what about these everyday needs that we have? Lotion, deodorant, shampoos, body wash, toothpaste, mouthwash. These are things that you can't just go to your local area food bank and get.
Right.
Excuse me. So, I was inspired to do that. And we have been doing it monthly.
Okay. Wonderful. We've got about 1 minute remaining. So what if you would just reiterate your contact details, and we're gonna wrap things up here.
Yes, you can go to www.yourwellnessinc.net. And you can find out more about Your Wellness Inc. And you can please click on the donation button and give you what you can, because it is greatly appreciated as well as needed in order for us to continue to do what we are doing to help those neighbors who are less fortunate.
Perfect. And, Deborah, I want to thank you so much for your time today and for the work that you're doing to support the region. YourWellnessInc.net. Again, that's YourWellnessInc.net. Deborah, I look forward to having you back on the show as things progress.
This show is brought to you by Positive Vibes Incorporated, our consulting services. We do credit fixes, tax resolution, we lend private money to real estate investors, and we do debt consolidations. Basically, we put money in your pocket when you need money. We put money in your pocket when you need money. 757-932-0177. Throughout the United States, credit fixes, tax resolution, lending private money to real estate investors, and debt consolidation. 757-932-0177, 932-0177.
Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party.
Phenomenal. Hey, yo, when I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Phenomenal.